What is going on, birds and bases? We're currently watching the Phillies versus the Orioles. So if you do hear that in the background, the game is on. It's tied 3-3. Bottom of the ninth. And what? Stotts on third. Who's on first?
Romuto,
Remoto. Okay.
2 outs.
So welcome back to another episode of Birds and Bases. Sorry to start that one off like that, a little bit differently. Um, the Phillies obviously are in a duel with the Orioles, which are a great team this year. So it's interested to see that we're holding these games tight, but we just haven't had that big hit, and then finally Stock comes through with that big hit just now to drive in the tying run. So it was an awesome feeling. The wife is down there in front of the TV right now. I'm up in the man cave slash office slash studio up here. So we're going to talk a little bit about Phillies, but we're going to talk a lot about the training camp of the Eagles. Obviously, they just went back to training camp
Yes.
today, so that's exciting. A lot of cool pictures and media has been coming out with the new uh, roster. Everybody's excited. There's a buzz going around, so we're going to talk a little bit about that, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about the Phillies and maybe get a hopeful victory tonight. Um, so, without further ado, let's jump into some of these Eagles news. So, what do you want to talk about the Eagles?
Well, they started camp today.
Correct.
That has happened. So that's so exciting.
Yep.
Season's
And
almost here.
they signed all of their new draft picks, so that was a headline of the week too. Ringo, I think, was the last one to sign, but now all of them are signed under contract, and they all reported. So we don't have any holdouts with contracts or anyone like that. So we don't have to deal with any of that. Some other teams were dealing with that. Saquon Barkley was being withheld. He finally signed today with the Giants again. Josh Jacobs, I heard out there, and for the Raiders is still unsigned. So it's just hearing a little bit here and there of teams not being able to come to terms with contracts with some of their key players. So I'm thankful that the Eagles don't have that issue this season. So,
Yes.
but it looks like everybody's excited to come back.
We
Did
won
we?
the
Did we just? What
game.
happened? What happened?
I just looked up. Boom, hit it. I don't know where it went, but he got Staunton. We
I can hear it in the background.
won.
Woo, 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 woo.
4-3. Sorry. So
So we
excited.
just beat the I'll call it Orioles.
Orioles.
Um, sorry, my buddy Chris. He's an Orioles fan. If you do watch this, we just beat you. You beat us last night, but we beat you tonight. So definitely. I guess we're gonna go back and forth all night tonight. So
Well, that's exciting. That just
no, yeah. I mean, we just won the game against the Orioles. Big series for us because it's a true test. Orioles are one of the
yeah.
best teams in baseball, so they're they're a test. So definitely happy that we won that game. All right. So back to Eagles. I'll bring up some of these images from the the training camp here. So let's take a look. So there's a lot of cool stuff coming out of who you want to start with? Obviously, we don't need the quarterback. I mean, obviously, we have Jalen Hurts there still. We have Mariota there this season. He signed a 1-year contract. And if any of you guys watch like Netflix or Netflix specials or anything like that, they had him as um, one of the featured quarterbacks that they followed during the show on Netflix. So it was cool to see a little insight about him and his family and how he panned out for the Falcons, and now he's an Eagle. But seems like a really good guy. Obviously, was a standout in college. He had a new kid, so he
Yeah.
left the Falcons during their show. So
Go birds.
He's a solid backup. I hope, knock on wood, we don't need a backup this year. So, but it's always good to, if we get up by a couple scores, maybe they throw him in and he's a solid backup to maybe just hold the game out. Um, that happened a lot last season, right? With Minshew coming in, and you know,
Yeah.
so that's good. So let's see. Running back. Let's see who we got here. We have DeAndre Swift wearing that number 0. Obviously, Gainwell. We have Trey Sermon. And we have Rashad Penny wearing 23. New pickup. Kennedy Brooks. I guess he's one of the bubble players. And then obviously Boston Scott. So good to see everyone there. And yeah, I'll just go through the recap here, and that way we can see, basically what we're dealing with here. Do. Let's look at some wide receiver action. One of Heather's favorite people, Devontae Smith there.
Yes,
AJ
sir.
Brown, Almade Zacharias. I butchered that name. It's one of the guys we picked up. Quez back again. We have Britton Covey. He's a, yeah, good pickup. We have Charleston Rambo, another pickup. Devon Allen. Um, get Greg Ward, another familiar face. Tyree Cleveland, we picked him up. Joseph Nagata, we picked him up as well. And Jaden Hasselwood, he's the guy who played with Jalen um, in college. So let's go back. Any ones that you specifically want to see, Heath? We got tight end, offensive line, our go-to edge.
Oh yeah, the O line. Did you see how the O line showed up today?
Let's see the O line. So obviously we have T. Fred. We had 16 guys here. Cam Jurgens. Obviously Tyler Steen's back. Obviously Jason Kelsey. Jack Driscoll. He's back again. Brett Toth. We have Lane Johnson. We have Roderick Johnson. He was a pickup. Cameron Tom, new guy. Malata is back. Dickerson is back, of course. Trevor Reed, another guy battling for a spot. Tyrese Robinson. Sua Opeta, he's back again. Um, Guard Julian Good Jones, battling for a spot. Tackle Chim Okafor, so he's battling for that 16-man spot in the front of the starting O line. All in all, no major breakthrough there. Obviously edge rusher here. We got the guy, the man, the myth, the legend. Hopefully for the Eagles, Nolan Smith there. We have Mr. Reddick, Patrick Johnson. We have our boy Brandon Graham. Defensive end, Kyron Johnson. We have Janarius Robinson again. Matt Leo. Come on. Taryn Jackson. Josh Sweat, of course. Derek Barnett, of course. And funny story about this picture here, Head. This is called a guardian cap on top of
What
their head.
picture are you talking about?
The one I'm showing.
The one that. Okay. Yeah, we didn't see that one.
Oh, okay. So I've been scrolling and you haven't been seeing nothing. Okay. Um. So a funny story about this cap right here is called a guardian cap. It goes on top of their helmets when they're in practice and stuff like that for contact.
Yeah.
Reagan actually helped create this company.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's been promoted in high schools locally here, and then it
Oh,
just took off for him, and now it's everywhere.
that's
So
pretty cool.
it's called Guardian Cap, so it helps people, prevent helmet to helmet injuries and stuff like that. A little bit less, more padding there to prevent concussions and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we can talk about with training camp, but it was the first day. Not a lot has come out. They did release a hype video, behind the scenes type thing. I'm not going to show it yet. I'll wait for the real thing to come out,
Why?
because I can't pull it up. I have to download the video and all that stuff.
Uh,
And Heather likes to send me stuff like an hour before we go try to go live with the show. So it's a little hard for me to scramble and get everything ready for the show, um, and that kind of stuff. Yo, John Jukis, let's go.
oh boy.
What's up,
Someone's
dude?
on our live.
So a little bit about John Jukis. He's Heather's cousin.
Yes.
I call him Cuz. People think he's my brother because he looks a little bit like me when we go out.
I think we
Um,
both go with it though because people say that to him and he's like, yeah.
yeah. So he actually played college football. He has experience with football. So one day we'll bring him on the show. That way we can talk to him about what he thinks of the Eagles and their positions. Um,
He is not a fan of ours though.
he is not he's not an Eagles fan, but he's a football fan.
Yes.
You know, LFG, let's go. Let's
Let's go,
go.
let's go. Go Birds. And the
So
Phillies just won if you saw the game.
so definitely want to get you on the show, John. I call him John Reese. John Reese, Jr. So we definitely want to get you on the show. He is a local football coach at a local high school. So shout out about that. So he knows what he's talking about, that type of thing. So definitely want to get him on the show, give him some feedback. Maybe he can be our, I know he's a lineman. I think he played both sides of the ball. Correct me if I'm wrong, John Reese. So he can give me a little bit of insight on maybe what happened at certain plays during the season. Maybe he can be our analyst for that type of thing. If you're up for it, we can bring him on the show. Because during the season, I definitely want to go over the games and maybe the key moments in the games and discuss like maybe what went wrong, what went right, that type of thing. So we want you guys to comment. We're gonna have the clips on screen. We're gonna be a little bit more prepared during the season for the Eagles because we want to go through the games and stuff like that too. So definitely want to do that. So,
Yes, yes.
but
Like,
yeah, like and subscribe. Definitely. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting, John Reese. Appreciate it. It
yeah.
helps. It helps with that. That thing called YouTube. We rank a little bit better if people are watching and commenting. Subscribe. Don't be a stranger. Leave a comment. Like and share. Like and subscribe. Give us those
Boop,
things
boop.
and
Hit the button. Boop,
turn
boop.
that bell on. Give us a little love. We appreciate it. All right. So, anything else that you want to discuss from Eagles training camp?
Do you know my name?
I was going to call you. Oh, well, no, I seen a name on the screen. This was
Oh, okay.
so Yeah. Well, so what do you think is the biggest position battle right here
What do you mean?
for position wise in training camp? Do you think we have any position battles? I don't really
I
see
don't know.
that. I think the biggest battle for the Eagles is maybe that third or fourth wide receiver role. So we have some of those new guys that we did sign, and obviously Quez, super fast guy. I don't think he's hit his or he left his marquee yet. I
Yeah.
feel like he could be a lot more of use this season. Hopefully that way we can get that third, fourth spot you know locked in. So hopefully he does emerge. But I think it's in that third, fourth, fifth wide receiver role is where I think the biggest position battle is. So I think tight end we're set. Obviously the QB position we're set. Offensive line there's maybe one or two up for grabs in there, but not really. There'd be the revolving players up there in the offensive line, the defensive line, same thing. Maybe one or two players that maybe can, you know, rotate in and out there. Um,
Yeah.
our linebacking core is good. Our secondary is going to be good with the additions that we made in the offseason. Um, I don't see us having that many position battles um, in training camp, but could be wrong. So
Yeah. We shall see.
we shall see. So, yeah, so that pretty much does it for, I think, the Eagles in this capacity.
Yeah.
Hopefully more news come out. That way we can, cover it. And I'm looking forward to that Eagles hype video. Do Phillies. Let's talk a little bit about. Oh, yeah,
Yes, sir.
I think so too. I think the defense. It's the only thing that scares me a little bit, John Reese, is that that secondary, that third player rotation. Um, it's still, he's young. Obviously, we just got that rookie back there, but I feel like he'll fit in nicely, and he's a really strong physical athlete. So I think he'll fit in strong back there. But other than that, as long as we stay healthy, that's the biggest thing with the Eagles. Go through some injuries there. Knock on wood this season. Uh, Hopefully, we can stay healthy. If we stay healthy, we should have a really good season. So I'm looking forward to that. So all right, let's talk about some no some Philly stuff.
Well, we just won the game
So
tonight.
we just won right there, 3-4, as you can see on screen right here. Win went to Marte, and Cano got the loss. So obviously Harper had a game tying home run tonight, tied
Ooh,
it two
ooh.
to two. I'm glad he is starting to hit some deep balls because I know it's probably a lot of pressure on him.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he may have had that stress lifted a little bit. So I'm just glad to see him starting to hit the ball deep.
Yeah, and he's killing playing first base too, which I was iffy about, but he's doing good.
Yeah, I mean, I told you he's
I know, but I felt like he was an outfielder, you
the
know?
guy. Bryce Harper is a natural athlete through and through.
Yeah,
I've
no,
watched
he's doing really good on first base.
I've watched videos of him when he was 16, 17, 18 coming up. He was drafted out of high school, that type of thing. The dude was a monster coming out of high school. Rarely see that. I mean, obviously now you're starting to see a little bit more, but dude was however tall he is, coming right out of high school, natural athlete, played almost every position. He pitched too. Um, so I had no doubts with him being able to play first base for sure.
Yeah.
Harper's a god. I mean,
Mm, I think that he's doing a good job on first base. I think he has a lot more work to do. He's not the
yeah.
same Harper he was before his surgery.
Oh well, I think the last two series, and I even said this to you, have his
Hmm.
swing is so much better. I feel like he's a lot more loose up there. Um, you could tell when he's guessing at pitches and missing pitches, you can see it. But when he's locked in, he's fouling pitches off, and he's just getting a really good quality at bats. When he's not, he's off. You know what I mean? So definitely, you know, good to see him start to come around. Obviously, he's playing first base. And I feel like too, if you're just playing DH, right, and you're not used to DHing, it puts a lot of pressure. Like, okay, I need to do this, rather than like if I make a good play in the field, it kind of makes up for a bad at bat, right? So, you could be a great fielder,
Yeah.
be off on the plate one night, but make a hell of a play and save the game and win the game for your team in the field, and that erases that bad at bat for you in your mind. So it's a big mentality thing. So 9 times out of 10, when I was playing baseball growing up, if that one player maybe struck out or left a runner on base and just looked terrible at the plate, but that he's going to make that play when the ball's hit to him, and he's going to erase that bad at bat, and it's all a mentality thing. I feel so.
Yeah.
That's good to see. Schwarber, been playing a hell of a left field. He almost made that catch last night when he
It was
dove.
terrible.
He
He lost
dove like
the
an old man.
game.
He
He
dove like an
lost
old
the
man.
game, though. He
That was a
lost.
tough play for any fielder, but he dove like an old man for sure. And I feel like he's been solid out there. Obviously, he's still batting that dismal like 185. But hitting home runs, you can't complain. The guy drives in runs.
Yeah.
So good to see that. And then our starting pitching has been freaking phenomenal.
Pitching is it's our
Start,
hitting, man.
yeah, we just like I was telling Heather earlier tonight, we just can't come through with that big hit. I feel we keep the game close, we get into our bullpen a little bit. They maybe score one or two later in the game, but we just can't put a string of good hits together unless it's maybe a long ball here or there. But tonight just proved me wrong. We just had that big hit, right? So hopefully this is a turn. Let's turn it. We were on a downward slide there for a little bit. We're back up. Marlins lost tonight to the Rays. So
They play tomorrow.
Pedro Troya, the Marlins lost. If you're watching, if you're listening,
You lost.
they did lose. I heard that you were going to the game, so have fun at the game. Hopefully your Marlins win, but not really. Um, so yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this. Let's hope our starting pitching still holds up.
Let's talk about
Rojas.
no.
No, I want to talk about Rojas.
Well, we could talk about him in a minute, but let's talk about Turner. How we were
Turner.
talking about that today, remember?
What?
About Turner.
What? He got thrown out of the game.
No, not that he got thrown out of the game.
Well,
I feel like he's not.
there was a couple sports analysts that came out to saying that like he's having that first season new team blues. He's not living up to the hype, that type of thing. But
Can he handle the Phillies crowd?
he can handle it definitely. I just feel like he's in that first year, getting used to a new stadium, new people, new environment, new team. He was the guy there in LA. He was the guy that he was the big guy, right? Um, and surrounded by talent, of course. But like him coming into a team with Bryce Harper and everybody else there, I mean, he's got to find his mold. He's got to find his fit. He's got to get his strike. So I feel like he'll come around. But look at Castellanos last season. Didn't have that great of a season. This season, killing it in the field. He's basically
His fielding is amazing.
a 300 average hitter right now. He made the All-Star team. Let's go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What? Let's go Rays. Obviously, if the Phillies did not
We
make,
swept those Rays.
we did sleep.
We'll
We
get.
did sweep those Rays. If we end up not making the playoffs or anything like that, I'll be rooting for the Rays just because we're from the Tampa Bay area, so that would be my second team. So
And since when are you a Rays fan, John Race? What are you talking about?
I didn't even know he was a Rays fan either. Um,
Being a brat, I think.
yeah, let's go. But yeah, so another thing I want to talk about is Turner got thrown out of the game last night, but he was arguing balls and strikes, and then he threw his helmet and his bat to the bat guy, and then
Which that's not very.
no, he shouldn't have been done that. But I don't think he should have got ejected. He seemed like he was arguing with him like just casually, and then the guy just didn't want to look like an idiot, so he threw him out. But yeah, so that didn't help the game last night either. Turner's a good hitter under pressure. Maybe he could have came up and made up for that or what have you, but that didn't help. But yeah, I want to talk about Rojas too, the rookie.
Talk about road hauls.
Dude's been killing it.
Gonzalez.
Dude's been killing it. I mean, he's I don't even know how many tool player he is, but he's an awesome fielder. He's got hell of speed. He's hitting the ball like crazy. I think he went 3 for 4 the other night. He had just had an RBI tonight. So get him in the lineup. Rob Thompson, put him in the lineup. Get him in there somehow.
Why
He
don't you
cre-
tell Rob Thompson how you feel about the pitcher too? Playing.
well, Strom. No, let me finish with Rojas. Rojas, you got to get him in the lineup. He's producing.
Yeah,
He
no, he's good.
he
He's proven
creates
himself.
pressure. Like when he's on base, he creates pressure.
Yeah.
For the other team, he puts the heat on those pitchers.
He's a good he loves to steal too. He's really good
he's a
at it.
fresh. It's fresh. We don't have that. I mean, Trey Turner's help. We do have some speed, but he just adds that extra little oomph to it. So glad to have him aboard, and glad it's working out for him when he came up. So now that Bryce is playing first base, maybe that Jake Cave, that you know, Derek Hall situation. You know, great guys, but they belong down. So I'm glad that Bryce Harper's playing first base, so we can get Rojas in the lineup. Get Marsh out there. Get Rojas out there. Get them in the lineup somehow. They put pressure. They're fast. They make stuff happen. So definitely do that. Um, but yeah, I think so back to tonight.
Strong.
Strom is. I feel like that second inning when he always pitches in when he comes in relief, he gives up the one or two big hits, and obviously tonight he gave up that
It's a
he missed.
homer.
He hung that curveball, and the dude took him deep, put the Orioles ahead 3-2. Thank God we came back and won that game, but I just feel like when he gets into that second inning of relief, he hangs one or two pitches, and it's not a good look. So,
So, Rob, if you're watching this,
so
he's a one
Rob,
inning kind of guy.
yeah. So
Take the note.
take the note, Rob. We appreciate the feedback. Send you can PayPal me. Just shoot me a message, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
So, all right, that will do it for tonight. We appreciate it. We'll be back. We're gonna start doing shows every 2 weeks. That way, it gives us a little bit of breather between the series. We can come back on here and have lots to talk about. Once we get into Eagle season, we may do it once a week just to recap
Or
the games.
maybe twice a week.
Maybe twice a week. It depends on if we have another Red October.
You don't know.
Let's have another Red October, please. Let's go. Let's go up to Nashville and watch another Phillies playoff game. That was awesome, wasn't
Yeah.
it? And then the Eagles game too up
We
there.
were watching them back to back. It was so much fun.
Yeah, so that was awesome. So thanks for watching tonight, guys. Leave a
Yes,
comment.
thank you
Thanks,
so
John Reese, for
much.
jumping on, giving us some comments on there, some
Yes.
feedback. Like, subscribe,
Tell your
leave a comment,
friends.
tell your friends, give it a thumbs up. We appreciate it all. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Night.